Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and hello to everybody else. Okay, so when I did the divorce topic series, I got a lot of questions in my DM about, of course, experiences other than what I went through, and maybe examples that I gave, but didn't really cover everybody. So I thought I'd do a video on those in case anybody else is having the same experience also. So I'm going to read them out so that I don't forget any of the questions. So one was, what if he doesn't want to divorce me and he's moving on with his life, so you've asked for a divorce, or he says, I'm divorcing you, but doesn't really want to go and get an official document from the Kadhi's court that makes you legally divorced. Or so when that happens, the alternative is you go to the Kadhi's court to get your divorce. So he'll be summoned there, and it will be like a process of back and forth. And so even through that, the other question was, what if I've been through the Kadhi's court in Mombasa and I'm trying to get my divorce, but I feel like it's not going my way. So, okay, I'll give an example. For me, I was separated from my ex for probably 9 months. He left. No divorce, no nothing. He just left. And so I went to the Kadhi's court, and when he was summoned, he was asked to divorce me, and he said, I don't want to divorce her. So I said, okay, I want to be divorced because I'm not living with him. He's not living with me. I don't want to live with him anymore, and I want my divorce. And the Kadhi said, well, he doesn't want to give you divorce. So I said, well, I want to get my divorce. And the valid reasons I had were that he's not taking care of me, not physically, not emotionally, not sexually. And this is the one area where we tend to presume that we get married just to give sex to men. Well, newsflash, we also want the sex. We didn't get married to just cook, give birth and all that. We are rightfully, I don't know how to put it, but it is our right for us, women as well. Sex is our right in a marriage. It's not that we got married to give it to you only. No, we have a right to get it as well. So in this case, what if a man has left, doesn't want to give a divorce, but he's left, continued with his life? And one of the women said that he went on with his life, got married to somebody else, but isn't living with her, and he isn't taking care of her, and she can't move on with her life, meaning she can't get married to somebody else, and she can't move on with her life. So anamfunga. And we know a lot of people who are like that. Kwa uhasidi umfunge mwenzako, wewe uendelee na maisha yako, lakini ni kama kumuonesha kwamba nikuone utafika wapi. And when you go to court, it doesn't help. So unfortunately, the women that I'm talking to, majority of them have said that they've been to Mombasa court and they were not getting the help they want for their divorces. Okay, so here's the thing. This is a one-sided story because it's just the women saying that. So I think I will try and contact Mombasa court to get their views on how they deal divorces when it comes to women who are asking for their divorces and why processes take long. Because one of them said that when they couldn't get through Mombasa court, getting the divorce from Mombasa court, she went to Nairobi and she got her divorce through Nairobi Kadhi's court, and it was really a smooth transition. So I don't know why, if you have a valid point or a valid reason why you shouldn't get your divorce from Mombasa court. So I don't know. I can't say anything about Mombasa court apart from my own experience, which it was also very difficult for me to get the divorce, and even though I really did have valid reasons too, but in this case, all I can tell you women is this: even if you're married in Mombasa court, or Nairobi court, or Kisumu court, or Bungoma court, or Kwale court, whichever court you're married to, it does not necessarily mean wewe ni lazima urudi that same court to get your divorce. if you've been to that court and you're not getting the help from that court, badilisha court. Nenda Malindi, nenda Kwale. If you're in Kwale, you had problems, njo Mombasa, try Mombasa. If all these courts tell you the same thing, then you need to reevaluate your case. It could be it's you that is the problem and not actually the case itself, and the courts are all right on the evaluation and the advice that they're giving you. That's all I can say with regards to that. So if somebody is not giving you a divorce, go to the courts, whichever one you feel that will help the Kadhi school. Someone else asked that, what if he doesn't want to give me my children? And the Kadhi's court isn't helping either. Okay, so I had a similar problem. I wanted my children, they were young, but my ex wanted them to stay with him. And rightfully, I was also not told anything about children, because I remember sitting opposite him and I was telling the Kadhi, the kids are small, I want to have custody of them. And he said, no, I want to have custody of them. And the Kadhi looking at me and saying, well, okay, he doesn't want to give you the children. And that was it. That was absolutely it. So I was advised later that I should go to children's court if I want to fight for my children's rights. If I want custody of my children, I go to children's court, Kotononoka. I don't know where it is anywhere else in Kenya, but you can find out. So I went to children's court, and that is where I got custody of my children. So if you want your children, if you want to fight for your children, whatever rights you want for them, please go to children's court, because from my later understanding after my case is that the Kadhi's court does not deal with children matters. They're all dealt at the children's court. But I would love if I had been told that by the Kadhi, instead of just saying, no, your husband doesn't want to give you kids, that's it. Angeni advisor akaniambia kwamba, you can go to children's court to sort out the issue of children. That really would have helped me a long way. So, and another thing, according to the Kenyan law, the children belong to the state. So the setup of children's court is for children's rights to be addressed, and justice is for children. And this doesn't just apply kwa kuwa mumeachana. If you are married and your husband is not taking care of the children, you have every right to go to children's court and demand him to take care of the children. If your wife isn't, or your ex-wife isn't taking care, actually this would apply to ex-wife. If the ex-wife took custody of the children, but she's not taking care of the children properly, and you want to take your children away from your ex-wife, you also need to go to children's court through this. So the child is protected by the state, the child belongs to the state, and where you get your rights, Zawatoto, is children's court. This habit of these days of men marrying more than one wife and not working and depending on their wives for, we call them economic marriages. When those things happen, please take them to children's court. They need to take care of their children. And that's the only place you will get justice for children. And thank you. I'm so glad for having that now, because we really were suffering before. Okay, so, this other instance was a guy saying that she asked for her divorce and left with the children, but when I want to see my children, she is refusing me to see my children, although she's the one that asked for the divorce. This is also wrong, women. For whatever reasons unamwacha yule mume, please put your adult issues kando. Nyinyi wawili mumeachana, lakini yule bado ni baba wa watoto wako. So ni lazima awe involved in their lives. Whatever he did to you, that is your problem. Same with men. Whatever she did to you is your problem. It's not the child's problem. Mtoto huwa hajui. Mtoto ajua anabama, ananababa. And a child needs both parents. For the psychological well-being of a child, he needs both. So you cannot deny a man to see his children just because wewe una some vengeance or some anger issues that you're holding on. That is a very selfish move. A very selfish one. You need to let children see their parents, be it it's the mother, be it it is their father. Find a way. Adult, please be an adult. And just find a way to, whatever resentment you have, to put it aside. And just let children enjoy being children and have a parent there for them. So, one lady said that she doesn't mind, she's divorced, she doesn't mind taking care of her children, but all she wants is the ex-husband to be there for the children, to see them, to visit them, but he's moved on with his life and doesn't want to see my kids, and they feel bad. This is really sad. So for such a case, you really can't do anything if one of the parents now doesn't want to be involved with their children at all. And all you can do is try and protect your child's psychological well-being by being there for the child. There's no need of backlashing the father. There's no need of trash talking the father or saying he doesn't want to see you, he doesn't want to be there for you or whatever. No, just make excuses as much as you can. Protect your child and tell him whatever you think will help him, be there, exist without the father being there. And eventually, as they grow up, you can bit by bit give out the truth, but do not let a child feel like the father is not there because he's inadequate. The father is not there, the father doesn't love him because he misses something in him to make the father love him. No. Make it look like as much as possible that it is not the child's fault at all. And in this case, I would advise therapy so that the child can go to therapy and let out his anger, let out his feelings, so you know what he is thinking and you know how you can help him or her through all this. Najua sisi kikwetu mambo ya therapy is such a new thing, but it really does help. Kukaa kuzungumza na mtu ambaye humjui, and then on top of that a professional, it really helps and goes a long way. So another one is, how do I cope despite knowing I shouldn't be in that relationship? I've gotten my divorce, but it's abusive and I don't want to go back. So I have 3 questions asking me about the healing process. I've spent 12 minutes talking. Instagram only allows me to post for 15 minutes. And this is quite a long topic. So I'll cover this kind of. So you'll see me in the same dress almost. Thank you guys. If you have any more questions, please let me know and I'll try and make a video. Because Sabuizi is in later, like at different timings, and I just compiled all of them. So if I get anything else that maybe might help somebody else out there, I will. But please, make use of children's court, 1. 2, make use of the Kadhi's courts that we have all over the country. One can't handle you, go to the other one. 3, if the Kadhi system doesn't work for you, go to the High Court. There's no excuse. The law is there to cover us. And by the way, I didn't get my marriage certificate this time round. I said I don't want to get a marriage certificate. It's not really important for me. And if I ever do need one, I'll go to the High Court for one. I can still live my life Islamically. I can still get my rights Islamically, so long as I have contracts in place and agreements in place. When it comes to business, when it comes to if we have properties and whatever, I'll have that in place, and that is enough in the Kenyan law to cover me. Ile thumni manake tuambiwa tukue marriage certificate kwa sababu ile thumni, that eighth that you get of the inheritance. So if I have an agreement in place, that also covers me. There is no necessity lazima nile nikachukue marriage certificate. So I hope it's been insightful, and see you in the other video. Thank you guys.